Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari 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 Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Go Premananda. So please forgive me. I was not aware that I was supposed to speak today. Is it okay?
Yeah.
But I saw this morning that today was Hera Panchami, which means the return day of Ratha Yatra in Puri. So let's speak about the Ratha Yatra, if you are okay with that.
I thought Hera Panchami is 4 days after Rath Yatra. Today's return at Rath Yatra. It's not the same thing.
You may be right. So today is Hera Panchami or return
No,
Rath Yatra?
return Rath Yatra.
Okay.
Hera Panchami was 4 days ago.
You're right.
Yeah.
I messed up my mind. Yeah. Hera Panchami is in between.
In between, yeah.
And now it's return Rath
Return Rath
Yatra.
Yatra, yeah.
That's what I saw, but I mixed the two. So today is not Hera Panchami. Today is return of the Ratha Yatra. Back and forth. Krishna leaving Vrindavan again. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jayo Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So the return Ratha Yatra is not so much described in Chaitanya Charitamrita because it was not the main event. The main event was the Ratha Yatra. And on the day, a cow is...
How's Radha doing?
On the day, Lord Jagannath left the temple of Gundicha to come back to the main temple. It's not a happy day. It's a sad day because it's like Krishna leaving again Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not dancing in front of the chariot. He was following sadly behind. So the mood was different. So I don't know why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami doesn't describe this so much, because we can't say everything. As he says, often otherwise this book would become too big.
Too voluminous, yeah.
Too voluminous. But we can speak about the Ratha Yatra, because Ratha Yatra is also another sad event, though it is also happy at the same time. Om Agyanatimirandasya Yanam Janam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe
Namaha.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. This chapter of the Ratha Yatra is maybe one of the most beautiful things that Prabhupada gave us, that Prabhupada translated and commented. You know, the translation of Srila Prabhupada, they are already not literal translation. He is adding a lot in the way he's translating. Like most of our acharyas, because they are Rasika Vaishnavas. So they translate the verses, how they see them. They add some elements. So Mahaprabhu arrived in front of the chariot and he offered his obeisances to Jagannath by reciting two verses. The first was Jayati Jana Nirvaso Devaki Jana Vada, and the second one was Naham Vipro Na Cha Narpati Napi Vaishya Shudro Gopi Bharta Padakamana Yor Das Iradas Anudas. And then after offering his obeisances, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to dance. And this dance is a very special dance. It is called Tandera Nritya, the dance of devastation. So it's very intense moment of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now Krishna becomes fully absorbed in being Radha. So much so that at some point in the purport, Prabhupada explained that when he's chanting, he's dancing in front of Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani. He doesn't say Krishna is in the mood of Radharani, he said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani. Because Krishna wanted to experience Radharani's love. In order to do so, he cannot think, I am Krishna experiencing Radharani's love. Otherwise, it would be always some kind of indirect experience. At some point, he has to forget that I am Krishna and to be 100% absorbed in the feeling, conception, and we could say even reality that he is Radha. Like this Krishna can experience fully if he forgets that he is Krishna. or so to say, if he is not more Krishna. Krishna can experience what is to be Radharani only if he is no more Krishna. So at that moment, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes fully Radharani. And Krishna is, at the same time, he is Krishna, but at that moment, he is no more Krishna. And not only at that moment, at many moments, in the 12 last years of his life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu nearly became fully absorbed in being Sri Radhika. That's the experience that Krishna wanted. He likes that. When he literally ceased to exist in order to become just Radharani. So now he starts to dance. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, roaring like thunder and moving in a circle like a wheel, he appeared like a cycling, how do you pronounce it? Circling?
Or it's cycling, what do they say? Is it C-I-R?
Yes.
Circling.
Circling firebrand. Please forgive my French. Circling firebrand. You know when you put some wood in the fire and you turn it like this? The burning wood will make a circle.
Yeah.
For the eyes, it looks like a circle. So Mahaprabhu would dance and turn in front of Jagannath so fast that he would look like a continuous circle, like this.
In India, they have fireworks. There they have many different firecrackers which do the circling.
Exactly.
It's called chakri.
Chakri?
Yeah.
Yes. Or Prabhupada explains but Prabhupada doesn't agree with you. Prabhupada writes in the purport, if a burning cinder of firebrand is whirled about very swiftly, it gives the appearance of a cycle of fire. This is called Arata Akara or Arata Chakra, a firebrand cycle. You're not a Bengali. Prabhupada is a Bengali, so he has the Bengali version. Arata Chakra. This whole circle is not actually made of fire, but is a single fire in motion. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a single personality, but when he danced and jumped high in a circle, he appeared like the Alata Chakra. Wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stepped while dancing, the whole earth, with its hills and seas, appeared to tilt. That means with his feet, it seemed that the earth would go back and forth like this. And all the seas and all the hills, but he's meaning the Himalayas, big hills. So that's a powerful dance. Everybody's there now. The whole universe starts to dance when Krishna starts to dance. That means you can't not be there. I don't know, maybe they were catching the trees or catching the ropes of Jagannath. And they're moving together with the gravity, so must be. It's said like this in order to explain to us that it was very intense. Everybody was caught in that dance. You couldn't not be affected. Some special gravity would take you also in some waves. When you are in a boat, the boat is rocking, you can't ignore that. You feel, even though you walk and even if the boat is like this, because of the gravity you can stand also like this, but you feel the move. So in the same way, when Mahaprabhu was dancing, he was moving the earth. It doesn't mean that everything on the shelf and table fell down, because the gravity also moved. But it was felt. That move of his dance was felt by everyone like when you are on a boat. So he started to dance. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu danced, he displayed various blissful transcendental changes in his body. Sometimes he appeared as though stunned. Sometimes the hair of his body stood on end. Sometimes he perspired, cried, trembled, and changed color. And sometimes he exhibited symptoms of helplessness, pride, exuberance, and humility. These are all the feelings of Radharani that Krishna is now experiencing. Stern. Sometimes Radharani, she becomes stern because of love. Everything is because of love. Radharani lives on the level of Mahabhav. And Mahabhav has different levels. Ruda Mahabhav, Adiruda Mahabhav. She's living on the level of Adiruda Mahabhav. And Adiruda Mahabhav has also different levels. Modanaksha, Mohanaksha, Madanaksha. She's living on the plane of Madanaksha Mahabhav. Only her lives on this plane, nobody else. Hare Krishna. So she is living on that plane, that's the level of her experience. And that level of prema is so intense that sometimes she becomes stunned, completely stunned. She cannot move anymore. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would dance, and then all of a sudden, he can't move anymore. What happened? Mm-hmm. If you're dancing and then all of a sudden you can't move, what happened?
You got stunned.
The dance stops.
The dance stops.
You were stunned because...
And you stand like that?
Probably fall on the ground.
Probably fall on the ground. If all your limbs becomes paralyzed when you're dancing, probably you collapse. No? So he would become stunned. Sometimes the hair of his body stood on it. Like
Pulaka
Sharira. But for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Pulaka was so goosebump, was so intense that it looks like the cotton tree. Now, here in the West, people are not accustomed with the cotton tree. There are.
No, we have this, what do you call it? Cottonwood. Same thing.
Same thing, like this?
Yeah.
With so many thorns?
Yep.
You have one here?
In many of them. There's tall ones on the side.
Okay. I've seen this winter in Mayapur, there was cotton tree. That was in Panyati.
Yeah.
Cotton tree. It's the trunk and all the branches, they are filled with only thorns. The bark is just covered with thorns. So his goose pimple would look like that, like a kadamba flower. You've seen a kadamba flower?
Yeah.
It's full of some, how to say?
Pins.
Spines coming out. So his body would become like that. That means the goose pimple were so high. He looked like a kadamba flower because he is golden like a kadamba flower. Very beautiful, very intense. Such is the nature of Radharani's love. It's not a little thing, it's a very intense experience that Krishna likes, intense experience. Now Prabhupada, Krishna's Kaviraj first, he's describing what's happening outside. Then he will tell us what's happening inside and why this is happening. But first he's describing the dance from the outside. And then sometimes he perspired. Or we think perspiration, it's not a good, very beautiful thing for us in this world, no? Perspiration. But Krishna, his perspiration, this is the Ganga or Garbhodaka ocean. So this is pure water. Whatever is in Krishna's body is transcendentally pure. So we should not think that when some water comes the perspiration of Krishna is Ganga water, purest water that we can find in this universe. You can drink that perfectly. We would not drink natural, normal perspiration of someone. That's nasty liquid. But the perspiration of Krishna is pure water. So we could have said Ganges water would come out of his pore. But he said perspired because it looks like perspiration. Then cried, starting to cry. Ashu, Stamba, Zveda, Pulaka, Ashu. Ashu means tears. Nayanam Galad Ashru Darya, torrents of tears. So he would cry, dancing sometimes, crying. His tears, they would drench everybody around because he's dancing. So he's dancing, he's crying so much. When you do this, it will go. And then trembled. That also must be difficult to dance when you're trembling. You're dancing and then trembling starts because the love that is experienced within the heart is too intense bliss, too intense love. The body starts shaking. This is called kampa. And then Vaivarnya. Vaivarnya means the color of the body changes. So this Vaivanya for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes many different colors. Sometimes it becomes white. Sometimes it becomes pink. Many colors he could transform himself. Because of the love also. Different feelings appearing, his body is changing of color. Mm. And then Nana Bhave. With this external transformation of his body, his mood, also his heart, will be filled with some bhava, different bhava. Vivashata, helplessness. He would feel completely helpless. Please, help me. Why is feeling helpless? Why? Why Radhani feeling helpless? Because these are the feelings of Radhani.
She can't handle her emotions. She needs help.
Okay, that's good. Because her love becomes too intense, she's searching for some outside support from her friends. Yes, could be like that. Could be also because of separation. So she's feeling helplessness. Then Garva, pride. Radhani also feels pride sometimes, but this is transcendental pride. Transcendental pride is not pride. It's another form of humility. We should not think this is what we describe as pride, because pride is a demoniac quality. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna writes, the demoniac quality among them is pride. Very interesting. That means when we are proud, we are in demoniac mentality. Like nowadays people, they say, be proud of yourself. This is demoniac teaching. Vaishnava is never proud. If we feel proud, that means we have become demoniac. That's a very bad feeling. We feel humble. Means opposite of proud. We feel, how to say? Worthless. Vaishnava feels worthless. But in spiritual love, in prema, there is a form of pride also. It looks like pride, just that it looks like pride, but it's not pride. It's just a way of expressing the pure love for Krishna. And then exuberance What is exuberance? Harsh.
Exuberance. You're just like you're joyous, like extremely joyous.
Extremely joyous. Too much joyous.
Yeah.
Okay. And then humility. Dainya. Becoming very humble. So all these feelings that are coming and going in the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his body is tossed by transcendental feelings. Transcendental feelings, we need always to add the word unlimited before them. These are unlimited feelings. Means he feels unlimitedly humble and then unlimitedly exuberant. Very intense situation. And then in the middle of all this, he's dancing. Now Krishna has disappeared. He's just completely handled by Radha Prem. This is why Krishna says, Radha Prem Amar Guru Hamishishanat. Radha Prem, the pure love of Radhani, is my dancing master, is my guru. I am like his dancing pupil. Mm-hmm. So that's how Krishna gives full control to Radhani's love. Now he becomes like Radhani and he's letting himself being, how to say? Be carried by Radhani's love. Like a dancing pupil, you know? He's not controlling like a puppet. And Prema, Radha Prema, makes Krishna dance. And Krishna is there here, like a puppet. The moves are not his. The feelings are not his. He's just completely carried away. That's just the beginning of the dance of devastation. Hold on, Prabhus. It's going to be rocky. This is Ratha Yatra. Different from our Ratha Yatra. Our Ratha Yatra is another reality. Maybe one day it will become like this also, Ratha Yatra. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such time it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. Ashara Kanya Padi Bhumi Gariyai. So Siddhari was right. Sometime, because of all these symptoms of ecstasy, it was too much, so he would just collapse on the ground. And because of the speed of the dance, when he would collapse, he would not just collapse, he would collapse and then roll on the ground with such a force that it would look like a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was tall, very powerful. And then he would roll like this. It was very mesmerizing, you know, for everybody. Everybody was looking, completely mesmerized. What is happening? Who is this person? They already knew, all inhabitants of Jagannath Puri, they already knew this sannyasi who had come from Bengal. They quickly noticed him because he was so beautiful, you know. It's not possible to be Krishna and to be unknown, because Krishna is too beautiful to be unknown. When someone is extremely beautiful, he'll become famous very quickly also. Even if he's not searching for fame, even if he's most humble person, but because he's beautiful, everybody will be attracted or intrigued by this person. Like when Jiva Goswami also walked to Vrindavan, it is said that Jiva Goswami was so beautiful that all the villagers, they would stop. In every village he would pass by, everybody would stop and look at this person and wondering, who is this person? We have never seen such a beautiful person in our life. And that's how Jiva Goswami crossed India to Vrindavan, giving his darshan to so many fortunate souls. So in the same way, everybody knew already Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some from afar, some closer. But they had never seen that. And they already had seen some kirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They already had seen, but that intensity they had never seen. So they were very, very surprised. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, then Nityananda Prabhu would come and he would stretch out his two hands and try to catch the Lord when he was running here and there. Nitai is trying to make sure that he will not harm himself. So trying to pacify him a little bit, running behind him and, okay, slowly, slowly. And when he would collapse on the floor, Nitai would also come and catch him last moment, Advaita Acharya would walk behind the Lord and loudly chant, Haribol,
Haribol,
Haribol.
Haribol.
Then the devotees, they started to form some circle in order to protect that Mahaprabhu was dancing so he would not bump into some other person. So they formed 1, 2, and 3 circle of protection. So that means he had a big space in front of Jagannath. He was dancing and they would make sure that the crowds would not come too close to him, to let him dance completely. So he's describing the circles. First circle made by Nityananda and probably the close associate of Mahaprabhu. Then a second circle made by Kashishwar and Govinda. They were holding hands like this, to catch the crowd. And then all the assistant of Maharaj Prataparudar, they made the king, who was the king. That means probably the guards, or they made also another circle to protect. So 3 circles of protection. And then I'm jumping some event because it's...
Usually this class runs from 8 to 9. It's 8:43 now. So we got like 12 more minutes before we close up.
12 more minutes. We will and let the dance stand still. So, okay, so then let me shift. There is a long description of this dance of devastation and what happened to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then at some point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at Jagannath and then he started to sing some verse, describing Radha and his feeling at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And he's telling to Krishna, why have you gone? And she's starting to accusing Krishna that he has left Vrindavan. And she said a very beautiful verse. She says, it's too short, because it's super beautiful, everything, this beautiful dialogue between Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. This is Radharani speaking to Krishna. Jagannath is Krishna in Kurukshetra. He has also become motionless by seeing Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, now Radha, now experiencing the role of Radharani, and he is accusing Krishna, asking him, how can you stay so far from Vrindavan? You don't know what is happening here. Everybody is dying from the day that you left. Everybody is dying in separation. They're no more eating. They're no more doing anything, to just standing still, shedding tears. Are you planning to kill everyone in Vraj? She's asking. Are you planning to kill everyone in Vraj? Is that your intention? Very strong accusation. This is manifestation of love, you know. When love is very powerful, then accusation will also be very powerful if you make one mistake. And she could not understand that Krishna had to pay that price also to leave Radharani's despair. That was his way of repaying the debt he had incurred from the gopis, you know, during the Rasa dance and all the pastimes in Braj. That's why he came back also as Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He had to go through that experience also. He had to also feel by himself that separation that they had been obliged to feel when he left Vrindavan. Krishna said, Yeya tamam prapadyante tam stacheva bhajamyaha. That means if you feel separation from him, he will have also to feel that separation. Krishna is not unfair. Krishna will never be the cause of something for you without himself also accepting that same consequence. So now I have to stop, even though it would be just the beginning, but this gives space to some continuation on other days, and I invite all devotees to try to understand this pastime of the Ratha Yatra and try to become very familiar with it. This is our movement, you know. We are the movement of the Ratha Yatra. Prabhupada loved the Ratha Yatra, and that's why he loved the Ratha Yatra. Not because it's cool and we're dancing, and Prabhupada loved the Ratha Yatra because this is such a deep and beautiful moment in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. This is where Krishna becomes Radhani and experiences also the nature of her love. And that's what Prabhupada loved. And that's why Prabhupada wanted to organize the Ratha Yatra everywhere, with the hope that gradually over the years, the devotees will come to understand all the beauty of this pastime. So now it is our duty to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's desire by understanding what he wanted us to understand, by diving into what he wanted us to dive into. That's why he organized Ratha Yatra. Not only for preaching, also for us, because he wanted the devotee to really live the pastime of Mahaprabhu. And when we are in the Ratha Yatra, all this is happening. So we have a chance to participate to it. But also, because our books are magical, every time you open the book, the Ratha Yatra also starts. So you can go to Ratha Yatra just by opening Chaitanya Charitamrita and reading 13th chapter of Madhya Lila. Yeah. Then we are right now in the Ratha Yatra, no, isn't it? But Siddhari wants us to go back to the temple, so we have to leave the Ratha Yatra. Okay, Hare Krishna, we go in the car. I wanted to stay, Siddha. Okay. Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. He's temple president, so we have to.
I'm not the president.
We have to go back when
I'm
he
not
says.
They work with president. It's very interesting you're connecting this to Srila Prabhupada, because since last few days I have this question in my mind, and I wanted to ask this, and I couldn't find an opportunity to ask it. That why Srila Prabhupada insisted so much on Rath Yatra. From very early age, he was attracted to Rath Yatra.
Yes.
And you, interestingly spoke on the same thing.
I answered.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's very interesting that That Ratha is a very deep festival. Also, although we're used to only the fan and
Yeah.
The
the-
external aspects.
yeah.
There is two aspects of Ratha Yatra. One
Folk
is
and
the
lore.
external aspect.
Uh-huh.
Lord Jagannath is coming into the street,
Mhm.
giving his darshan to everyone. Many people, millions of people come. Most of them, they don't understand what's happening. They just come to take darshan of the Lord, the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan darshan. And they feel, wow, this is darshan of the Supreme Lord. And they're happy, they're blessed, and they come for this. And this is true. That's Krishna's way of giving his mercy to all these people, and to us particularly who can't enter inside the temple of Jagannath. Because if Jagannath wouldn't do this pastime of coming outside the temple, then Prabhupada would also never have introduced this pastime in the West, and we would never have seen the form of Jagannath.
Mhm.
Now Prabhupada took Jagannath and he made him not only go through the street of Puri, but go through all the streets of all the cities of the world. That's the same Jagannath. But Prabhupada told him, okay, that's okay. Now you have to go further. I'll bring you to some different cities, and I'll make you go around these cities also. Your drive from Jagannath temple to Gundicha temple is too short. You have to make some detour now. Once Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, before all this happened, because before there was no other Ratha Yatra,
Calcutta had one because Prabhupada grew up preparing a cart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But was there any other Ratha Yatra in the world outside of Jagannath Puri
No.
before Prabhupada started to do Ratha Yatra in some other countries or
I-
some other place?
I don't think so. I don't
I
know.
never heard. He's the one who took Ratha Yatra out. And before, Bhaktisiddhanta at his time, this was not existing, or was it?
Yeah. Apart from Jagannath, in actually every Vedic temple, we have a Ratha.
Yeah.
And
That I know.
Yeah.
Or every Vedic temple in South India, they take the deities out. This is a famous, but it's not Jagannath.
Yeah, it's not Jagannath.
It's
Yes.
not Jagannath. Because before Prabhupada, there wasn't many Jagannath deities. Some here and there, one in Mayapur, some different also in Bangladesh, some
Yeah.
places,
Yeah.
Vrindavan also, one or two, but not much. In the rest of the world, nobody would worship Jagannath. And I never heard that in this temple they were doing Ratha Yatra. Maybe could be a research to do, but so at his time, Bhaktisiddhanta Ratha Yatra was not going on, and we have never read anything of Bhaktisiddhanta organizing Ratha Yatra. No, this was not happening. But Bhaktisiddhanta wrote one day, we have to take Lord Jagannath into a plane and bring him to all the cities of the world. That was his desire. And Prabhupada did that. Prabhupada did that by installing Jagannath in all the cities of the world. But it's the same, It's like even he took Jagannath on a tour into all the cities of the world and then tell him, oh, by the way, now you're here, you can stay here also in one form. And then now Jagannath is everywhere. But it's that same dynamic coming out. So that's one aspect of Jagannath Ratha Yatra. And it's the happy aspect. We feel blessed. It's the mercy of Krishna. But the second aspect is Krishna experiencing the feeling of Radhani in the form of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. When you add Caitanya Mahaprabhu to the Ratha Yatra, then it becomes a new pastime. It becomes Kurukshetra Leela, and it becomes this exchange of experience between Radha and Krishna. Krishna experiencing the mood of Radharani, which is for Krishna one of the topmost experience he can have, or the topmost experience he can have, but it happens in different leelas, not only in Ratha Yatra. Krishna becomes Radharani or takes the mood of Radharani in many different pastimes, but also in this one, and that's why Prabhupada loved that Ratha Yatra.